Hello and welcome back to my channel. Am I dressed like a slob? Yes. Should I film this earlier today? Also yes. Did we? No. But welcome to my January wrap-up. January was a pretty good reading month. I read 9 books, which are right here in front of me, and half of a 10th book, so that's pretty good. And I read all the books from my TBR jar. If you want to look at my TBR, I will leave that linked up above and down below for you to give you kind of an idea of some of the books that I'm going to talk about. So watch out before you watch this because obviously spoilers. I also, as per usual, did not think ahead when I did this, and I'm downloading Google Drive onto my phone because I use the ever lovely hardback hoarder, Allie. So as I said, I read 9 of the 16 books on my TBR, and that is a total of 2,994 pages. Wow. So I basically read 3,000 pages this month, and my average star rating was 3 stars, and there's no 5 stars, just 3 stars. So let's just get right on into it. The first book that I read in the first 2 days is The Red Queen by Jacqueline Kolosov. I really enjoyed this. This is one of my TBR jar picks, and it's done. I rated this 4 stars. Then I reread A Madness of Angels by Kate Griffin. This is the first book in the Matthew Swift series. It's 4 books. I enjoyed this. I rated this 3 stars. Then I wanted to switch it up a little bit because Madness of Angels kind of got me into a little bit of a rut. I didn't love it as much as the first time that I read it, so I decided to pick up a good old cozy mystery and read Murder of a Snake in the Grass by Denise Swanson. I rated this 3 stars. I almost always rate cozy mysteries 3 stars, so that's not very surprising. Then I read BookTube's Darlin', and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I rated this 3 stars. I thought it was good. If you want my full thoughts, please watch my vlogs. I talked about it a little bit more in my vlogs, but I expected more. I don't like the Darkling. I don't find him attractive. He's manipulative and gross. I will finish that series eventually, but that's that. Then I read Saga Volume 7. I rated this, I think, 3 stars. And Lumberjanes Volume 7, which I also rated 3 stars. Then I read probably my favorite book of the month, and that is The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. This is the 2nd book in the Hannibal Lecter series, and it's kind of following some of the stuff that happens in, like, I think season 2 or 3 of Hannibal, or like kind of mirrors some of that. But I really did enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to watching the movie, which will probably scare me too much, but yeah, no. And I rated this 4 stars. I can't remember if I said that, but I rated this 4 stars, and I loved it. Then I read my least favorite book of the month, which should surprise no one, and that was Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I talked a lot about why I didn't like this book in my vlogs, as in I ranted about rich people in my vlogs. So if you want to know more about my feelings, again, check those out. But I did not enjoy this. It was really long. As I have been saying to people, it took 400 pages to get to the point that you knew that it was going to in the first 80. So, I don't know. Jane Austen just isn't for me. I rated it 2 stars. I did finish it, but, you know. And then the final book that I read in January was To Hold the Bridge by Garth. I love Garth. I thought this was going to be more Old Kingdom stuff, but only the first book was Old Kingdom, and I really loved the rest of the short stories. It reminded me a lot of Welcome to the Monkey House by Kurt Vonnegut, which is one of my favorites. And that's what that looks like, just in case you're wondering. You should also read this because it's fantastic. But yeah, it gave me serious Welcome to the Monkey House vibes. If you want to know what I thought of each story, I do have a very in-depth review for this up on my Goodreads, and I gave it an average rating of 3 stars, though some of the stories were 5 stars and some of the stories were 2 stars. But my favorite story collection was A Wink and a Nod Lighthearted Tales. It had a lot of really fun things in it, so I would highly recommend this. It was my 2nd favorite book that I read in January. So that's it. That's the 3,000 pages that I read. I hope you enjoyed this video. What else can I say? I have an upload schedule, so you'll see all these sometime. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've read any of these books, please let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you're going to read one of these books now because I talked about it and you think it sounds cool, let me know that as well. But until then, I'll see you in my next video.